Today I'm here with this beauty, the new Ram TRX SRT 2027 from Indiana. This is the first exclusive test drive where I've been invited to see what it's made of, what it's all about. A pickup truck that has an engine producing 777 horsepower. But obviously, the first thing I want to show you is how this engine sounds in a beast like this. Let's listen. But anyway, we're not here to talk nonsense. We're here to do this, and here I am. On the track they've set up to jump the TRX, to push it a little, or a lot, and so we can really feel what it's like, the control and all that. So I'm going to get into one of the TRX trucks. First, obviously with one of the people working in logistics, and then it's my turn to make the big jump. And here you see me enjoying myself like a little kid with a new toy, yes. Because I had the chance to really push this Ram TRX SRT to the max. Of course, I had the Ram specialist giving us instructions about the terrain and the route, but it's definitely a wonderful opportunity to make the most of. And there, the huge ground clearance you have in the Ram TRX lets you overcome those obstacles with a lot of ease. The new TRX gives you a lot of confidence. The suspension offers impressive travel and keeps the wheels in contact with the ground, even on bumps and very uneven areas. The shock absorbers work beautifully. I mean, those Bilsteins do an excellent job absorbing strong impacts. Because yes, this one bounces and jumps, and when it lands, that's where the shock absorbers really shine. The system gives you a lot of confidence because it constantly adapts the suspension according to the terrain. Those 35-inch tires give you a lot of grip on the sand, on this uneven surface we had. And despite its size, the truth is that this truck feels surprisingly controlled when you pick up the pace and speed off-road, which is what we were doing here. Let me tell you more. In 2021, and I'll show you, the 2021 TRX, that first generation of the TRX that I had the chance to test. Here are some images. At that time, of course, it was also an impressive experience, but it didn't feel as controlled as this revived TRX SRT. Back then, I felt that if you pushed it too far, you had to be careful because it could get out of control. The stability wasn't as good as this one. They worked on that, and honestly, they've improved it a lot. The off-road experience with this TRX SRT 2027 is excellent. And if the words Hemi V8 mean something to you, if they ring a bell, well, that's what you'll find here, under the hood of this new 2027 Ram TRX SRT. It's a Hemi V8, 777, and you can hear some people out there pushing that V8 engine a bit too much. 777 horsepower, 680 pound-feet of torque. That's impressive. The transmission is paired with an 8-speed gearbox, but they reinforced it so it could handle and adapt to all that massive torque. Here we're discussing the 6.2-liter supercharged engine, which is back and even more powerful than before. Do you remember the previous generation's horsepower? It was an iconic number, but I'm not telling you. Share your guess in the comments without using ChatGPT. How many do you recall? How much horsepower did the previous generation have? The one removed from the TRX. It's a beautiful engine with many fans. Check out that air intake. Massive, impressive, huge. Well, one detail that some of you are going to ask me is, what happened to the T-Rex? The previous generation had the T-Rex graphic eating a Raptor. Well, they've removed that. They haven't told me why, but it seems to me that, I don't know, maybe it's out of respect perhaps? Maybe, yes, they changed this a bit, but they could have included it. What happens is that, of course, when they come out with more power, with such a strong announcement, what's going to happen is that Raptor will surely respond. And Raptor, well, won't be left behind. The Raptor R will surely put out 800 horsepower. So, the image of a T-Rex eating or snacking on a Raptor would become obsolete. Well, what do you think about that? There's a lot to talk about, a lot for the Deja. Let me know what you think about my theory too. It could be something else. I'll ask the designers later why they removed that logo, but anyway, let's see how close I am to reality. But now, let's get to what we came for, which is to drive this beast, the Ram RX. I'm lowering the window to start it up. And let's listen a bit from the beginning. Wait, you have to enjoy the full experience, like this. There, it started up smoothly. The rearview mirror with the camera monitor turns on. Now let's put it in place. Well, to make it a little more exciting, I'm going to put it in sport mode. This drive will be on the road. It's an on-road loop that they've set up for us here in this field in Indiana, which is a motocross field. One of the most famous, most popular in the United States. We switched to Baja mode for the off-road part. And now we have it in sport mode. And in that sport mode, I'm going to push it hard. You should hear it now, if the camera mic picks it up well. You should be able to hear it perfectly well now. There's a truck coming over there that says Raptor. A van that says Raptor. That van says Raptor. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, I think you can. It says Raptor. It came by and drove past me, like saying, hey, remember, it's also a Raptor. But anyway, I think Ram is saying, remember that the Ram TRX has the edge in power. 777 horsepower. That's what it has. So don't show off too much with that van. Let's see what the Raptor brings. Well, let's go for it here. All right, we're hitting the road now. And as always, I'm driving this in sport mode. And listen to how nice the supercharger sounds. The whine of the supercharger is one of the noticeable things. I thought that at one point, when I was just coming out of the field, you couldn't really feel it much. Of course, I wasn't revving very high. But now that I'm driving it, in sport mode. On this road, quickly, the sound of the supercharger makes itself known. And of course, all of this is part of the experience of driving a TRX with that V8, supercharged, fully boosted. And the sound of the supercharger with that V8 engine, there's a downhill section here. Let's push it a bit in sport mode. Let's go to the flat terrain, flat. Look, a light touch on the accelerator is enough. A slight tap on the accelerator is enough, and the acceleration is brutal. There it is. A big part of the experience is that. I mean, of course, you take advantage of these kinds of events. To go for it, right? To really floor it. But with a light touch, you can see it takes off immediately. The 8-speed automatic transmission, which has been reinforced to handle the massive torque you have. In this truck, in the new TRX SRT version, it shifts quickly and smoothly. You don't lose much there. But if you're enjoying this video, give it a like. It doesn't cost you anything. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I won't say more. So let's continue with this Ram TRX because it's spectacular. Despite the huge tires, those 35-inch tires, I think I already mentioned it to you. Despite the huge tires, the steering inspires confidence. I mean, it gives you a certain precision. It's not, let's say, too sluggish. That's good. The suspension does its job. It's a suspension that adapts pretty well. Of course, on a road like this, which doesn't have many imperfections, the ride is comfortable. I went through a little street where the road had some imperfections. Of course, you could feel them in the cabin. It may not be the most comfortable experience for some people. But in general terms, for example, here. I don't know, it's like you're driving an SUV with no problem on a perfectly paved road, with pretty big tires. That suspension does a good job, and since you have permanent all-wheel drive, it feels pretty stable, right? The stability. A lot of people would be asking, well, such a big truck, such a powerful machine, how's the stability? Honestly, yes, it feels very stable. Much more stable than the previous generation. I had the chance to drive that previous generation, the 2021 model, which I loved, obviously, but it didn't feel as stable as this one. This one feels much more stable. I mean, you can really feel the tuning and calibration work they've done, and at highway speeds, it can easily be your daily driver, your truck. Not many people will use it as a daily driver, but more for fun. But it handles really well, very stable. Supposedly, with all this power, from 0 to 60 miles per hour, 0 to 97 kilometers per hour, you do it in just under 3.5 seconds. which for a truck of this level, of this size, is simply impressive and spectacular. All right, I'm going to stop here for a quick acceleration. There are bumps, so it's different, but let's do it, and I'll share the experience. I won't measure it, but here we go. I hit 60 a while back, which was spectacular, but let's focus on the design of this Ram TRX. It has several changes, even though it still keeps the TRX identity. First, I'll discuss the one I'm showing you here. The Bloodshot Night Edition, which is a beautiful truck, is the most eye-catching one, the one Ram's president Kuniskis used to have it jump over him. That was something iconic. Well, but that package cost you $10,000. Why does it cost you $10,000? Because it has the following features. That Bloodshot package is going to give you exclusive two-tone paint, like the one we're seeing here. The upper part is hand-painted in blacktop, meaning the hood, the roof, and the upper part of the body. You also have a central stripe called Flame Red on the hood, exclusive graphics on the exterior that look awesome. You also get 18-inch wheels that are compatible with BitLock and have a special black color. In addition, you'll have interior carbon fiber trim with red accents in the cabin, red stitching inside, red seat belts, and the TRX badge encapsulated in glass on the center console. That's an emblem that only comes with the Bloodshot package. But if you don't have the $10,000, although if you can afford the whiskey, you can afford the ice, right? If you don't have $10,000 for the Bloodshot Night Edition package, which I think is the most beautiful, you can get the regular Ram TRX, which is also impressive. What design features will we see? Well, in terms of design, we'll also see Ram branding, with the red, which is characteristic for this Ram TRX, and the SRT badging. Again, it's the division. The first time in 19 years that a Ram pickup truck has the SRT. That will also be a unique characteristic of the Ram TRX. A lot of functionality here, the hooks in red as well to complement that black grille. On the hood, you're going to have this color, which is a very nice gray with black accents. The 6.2-liter badge. This, also with a red border, is another feature. Unique to this Ram TRX, it says supercharged, because there you have a supercharger, which sounds amazing when you're driving it. You also have the 3 marker lights required for a truck of this width. You have the intake here, also prominent, in black. And well, there you have that hood, which looks spectacular. You're going to have protection lower down. The proper protection for a truck that's extreme, that you're going to take out there, where a lot of debris and rocks will be flying at it. And there you have your fully metallic skid plate. And your headlight assembly, which really doesn't change, still keeps that Ram identity, with the daytime running light, dual LED projector lenses, and its fog light. And you can also see a set of pretty large sensors. Plus the cruise control, its front camera, which is very useful. This 2027 Ram TRX has a very imposing presence. You're going to have 35-inch tires, these come standard. You're also going to have a fully independent front suspension, with 13 inches of travel in the front. In the back, you have a suspension with 14 inches of travel. That's one thing that's especially useful for an aggressive off-roader. The ground clearance is 11.8 inches. This is the same as the Ram RHO. It's 2 inches higher than a Ram 1500 Rebel, just for reference. Let's move on to the rear part. Let's see. It has a 5-link suspension with coil springs. I already told you that the travel was 14 inches in the rear. It works together with the Bilstein shock absorbers. Look, there they are. Spectacular. Those are the Bilstein Blackhawk E2. They automatically adjust that suspension according to the terrain, and it will change the response depending on the road. In the rear, Ram TRX stands out. Here they really put the Ram monster, the TRX, at least the front, with the prominent SRT Ram. I also mentioned they've highlighted it everywhere since it's Stellantis' sports division. Its red hooks look great, and it has dual exhaust pipes. Plus, it offers strong towing capacity. And you have, check this out, the retractable step so you can access the bed. The bed it has, let's see, there's a mechanism there, so you have to push it firmly. You have, well, obviously a functional bed, but a lot of people aren't going to use this bed. The person who buys this is really buying it for other purposes, and it also comes with its cover included. And now I'm going to show you the interior of the new Ram TRX 2027 SRT version. This isn't the one with the expensive $10,000 package called the Bloodshot Night Edition, the blood-injected package. The name I'm giving it via 3D Car Power 360 because it doesn't have an official translation. Bloodshot. Well, that's not it. This is the regular one that has a lot of standard features and some interesting new things. Let's start here with the instrument panel. And if you look, there are like 5 little screens. You activate those from this little button. Look, you press there, and 5 small screens turn on. I don't think the previous generation had that submenu. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that's new since it wasn't mentioned at the presentation. Also, with the submenu, you can use the arrows to move side to side. For example, it shows fuel consumption readout and the map. Pressing OK enlarges the map and starts loading. What happens is that right now I'm in an area where there's nothing. No streets. That's why nothing shows up. But trust me, that's the map. You go back there. It shows the speed limit and the radio station too. And this last one, if you press OK, well, it tells you the driving mode you're in. So the configuration of the fully digital dashboard is really nice, and obviously it says TRX. If it were an RHO, it would say RHO. In the TRX, well, it says TRX as it should. The stitching is done in red. The carbon fiber material in the Bloodshot Night Edition version is different. It's unique, because it also has red. It's a different component. Over here you have a bit more carbon fiber, the red start button, the driving modes you have here. And here you have the different drive modes. Look, sport mode, tow mode, snow, automatic, custom mode, mud and sand, rock, and the Baja mode for crossing the desert at very high speed. The screen you have here, that screen is the one with the Uconnect 5 system. Uconnect 5 is a 14.5-inch screen, pretty big, with the shape you see there. The shape of the crab, I was going to say, no, the ram. If you press home, it gives you a split view of different modules on that central screen. Well, you can connect Apple CarPlay and Android Auto completely wirelessly. The instrument cluster, the one I was showing you a while ago, is a 12.3-inch cluster. And here you're going to have more than 24 configurable menus. That's something new for this Ram TRX 2027. You're also going to have leather and suede seat upholstery. With the combination of perforated leather, very nice, with good lateral support. The TRX is inscribed there, inscribed on the backrest, also embroidered, very nice. Red stitching on the headrest, all of that looks really good. You have carbon fiber trim, in some parts also on the door panel, and also some Alcantara. The Harman Kardon sound system, TRX emblem everywhere, you have it there in the double glove compartment. And also, like I said, on this part of the backrest. You'll also have it here on the center console. Here you also have suede or Alcantara. Red stitching, a bit of carbon fiber over here. Your cup holders, dual wireless charging, and a little lower you'll have the USB-C ports, the auxiliary, and USB-A. And your gear lever, right here in the center of the console to grab it, just like it should be in a pickup truck. There are no rotary selectors or anything like that here. But since the person who buys this TRX also really likes speed and, well, the thrill, the performance, the handling, well, here you have your performance pages, the measurement modules, where you'll find everything you need to do your 0 to 60, the G-force, propulsion, dynamics. Well, all these pages are for drag racing with submenus. It goes by columns, very nicely drawn, beautiful graphics. If you want to tow a trailer, you have brake modulation, and here are the 4x4 system controls. And here you control the driving modes. Besides that, you have a rear view mirror, camera monitor. Back there in the rear, you have good legroom, your cup holders, it's comfortable. Look at the space you have there. You also have red seat belts. The red accents back there look really good. The door panels are also quite similar to the ones in the front. And if you want, let's say, if you want a more premium, more luxurious experience in the Ram TRX, you can have this panoramic roof. Sorry, here I'm pressing the rear window button. Okay? We'll leave it closed for now, but if we press here, you get your sliding panoramic roof. Yeah, it's actually pretty big. If that's what you want, you can also get your TRX with the sliding panoramic roof. Now, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that my colleague Manuela Vasquez is over there making her video, because I want to mention something I don't really like. If there's something I don't like, I'm going to tell you. This Ram TRX costs you more than $100,000. That one has the Bloodshot package, which costs you $10,000 more. So start adding it up on your calculator, but the package is cosmetic. And that one, and I'll show you, says TRX. It has some impressive graphics. This one says TRX too, but it says it here with this emblem, which, yes, is spectacular. But man, they should have put a TRX here. Even if it was just a small one, I don't know, just something like that, because you're spending $100,000 on an extreme pickup truck. So not even from the side, because if you see it from the side, it's huge. It's a behemoth and all that. But if someone doesn't see TRX there, they're going to think it's a power wagon. They're going to think maybe it's an RHO. Did they forget to put the emblem on? Well, whatever, I don't know. I think Ram should have thought about putting TRX there like they did with that other one, the one with the special package. However, the key does have the TRX on it. It would be crazy if they hadn't put TRX on the key, since they have it everywhere else. Well, the key has its TRX there on a red edge, which, yes, looks pretty nice. But let's talk about what interests you the most, which is the price. To see if in that bank account, in that investment portfolio, if you're going to sell your house, if you're going to sell your property to buy it, because I think you're going to need a lot of cash, a lot of money. So, is this truck coming to Mexico? Of course, later on, this week, currently, as this video is recorded, it's already arriving at dealerships. In the United States, it will start at a list price of $102,500, over $100,000. The Bloodshot Net Edition package is going to add $10,000 more. So with everything, get ready for about $120,000, if not more. So let me know what you think about the cost, about the price of this Ram TRX SRT 2027. All right, with this exclusive Indiana test, we've reached the end. But before we finish, I want to ask, do you prefer the Ford Raptor R? If you were going to buy one, if you had more than $100,000 to buy one, would you go with this new Ram TRX 2027 SRT with the 777 horsepower or with the 720 horsepower of the Raptor R? Are you loyal to Team Raptor, the Raptor R, or Ford? Let me know in the comments. And with great pleasure, a big hug to all my audience. I'll see you in the next video. But obviously, I'm looking forward to your comments because I know you'll want to comment a lot. Sending you a big hug. See you.